Guys, so we have an urgent information coming out. Americans issued new urgent travel warning for Mexico. This goes to tell you that something big is about to hit the fan pretty soon. I want to show you this one here too. We actually talked about this a few hours ago. The link will be in the comments box. This was announced today. US military deploying forces to Southern Caribbean against the gangs. We're talking about the one in Mexico. So a travel warning was issued, and on top of that, US military deploying forces. Alright, so we're going to see what's going on here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and a PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. Alright, so we are seeing some of the signs here. We're getting closer and closer to a huge biblical war with Mexico. We're talking about the gangs in there. And these gangs, believe it or not, these gangs, they have some very powerful equipment. Alright, they posted a video, I think it was last year. They have like armored vehicles. They have like military camouflage suits. I mean, they have very powerful equipment that belongs to us. State Department updated an advisory for the Sleeping Giant citizens traveling to Mexico, warning of certain groups. Alright, so I'm gonna skip the rest of that. So Newsweek reached out to the department via online online form Tuesday night for additional information. So why it matters. The updates carry significant for American travelers and the Sleeping Giant Gov alike because it ties specific security risk, including, I'm just going to highlight this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the reason why US is putting out the travel warning, because of that. To state-by-state guidance, which could affect the ability of the Sleeping Giant Gov to provide emergency assistance. The Sleeping Giant Gov has limited ability to help in many parts of Mexico. The Sleeping Giant Gov employees are not allowed to travel to certain high-risk areas, the advisory says in part. This is the first time, I mean, for me, hearing something like this. Do not travel? Advisory to Mexico? I mean, that's crazy. So what to know? Well, the update on Tuesday notes a level 2 summary advisory was added along with a, I'm going to skip that name, risk indicator, the State Department says. The department placed Colima, Guerrero, and Michael Arcan, Sinaloa, Tamaulipas, and other regions. I'm going to skip their names here, guys. At a level 4, do not travel. Citing lawlessness linked to the very, very bad groups, the gangs, organization. Now, a federal official advised traveler to exercise increased caution in many other states and to reconsider travel to those that include Baja California, Chiapas, Chihuahua, and other regions here, Jalisco, Morelos, and Sonora, due to risks such as clashes between the lawlessness organization and targeted lawlessness. The State Department updated advisory also features a map noting the level of warnings across the country. Please be safe out there. Again, if there's any Sleeping Giant citizens out there, you may want to come back. This thing is getting really hot. Multiple sleeping giant and local travel guidance documents that presented the August advisory had already warned the sleeping giant citizen of specific risk in tourist area, including guidance from the sleeping giant embassy in Mexico City and its consulate on spring break and seasonal travel. The sleeping giant mission had advised travelers in February to exercise caution in downtown areas of Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum, and to follow local laws and safety precautions. Cancun and all these other regions are popular Mexican tourist spots for American travelers. So it says here what people are saying. The State Department on X, formerly Twitter, earlier this month said we issued travel advisory with levels 1 to 4. Level 4 means do not travel. This level is assigned based on local condition and or our limited ability to help there. So these places are warning alert, and you may be putting yourself in a really hot spot by visiting. The travel advisory for the following countries are currently level 4 do not travel. You have all these other countries there too. You have Afghan, Belarus? Wow, okay, so Burkina, and then you have Burma, Central African Republic, Congo, Haiti. Now Haiti is a whole different ballgame. That part, yeah, I can understand. You have Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Libya, Mali, North Korea. Yeah, North Korea is one of them too. The Bear? Are you serious? The Bear Country? I heard nothing but good things from the Bear Country. You have Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Crane? Oh, again, because of the war, that's why. Venezuela, yeah, nobody want to live there, Venezuela. Then you have Yemen and others. Sorry, guys, I just received a notification. I'm just multitasking here. Ronald Johnson, the U.S. ambassador to Mexico, posted to X earlier this month. We stand together as Soviet partners. We face a common enemy, the lawlessness gangs. We will use every tool at our disposal to protect our people. Here's the thing, is that the president does not want that to happen. And then a lot of people's like, perhaps the president has ties with the lawlessness. So what happens next? Well, the advisory recommends the Sleeping Giant citizens enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. Review the country security report for Mexico, carry travel insurance, and devise contingency plans in case local emergency services are unavailable. So once again, they do have a level 4 do not travel to Mexico. So I'm gonna bring this one up, even though I did post a video of this one here, but let's see if there's any more updates on this story here. So U.S. military deploying forces to Southern Caribbean against, again, those are the ones, the gangs. That's why they're putting out the do not travel. The Sleeping Giant has ordered the deployment of Sleeping Giant air and naval forces to the Southern Caribbean Sea to address the warning from Latin American, the gangs. Two sources briefed on the decision told Reuters on Thursday. The sources had few details of the operation, but Donald has warned to use the military to go after these lawlessness gangs that have been designated as global bad organization. Now, the sleeping giant have been directed to prepare option. There you go. There you go. They're preparing and they're putting out travel advisory. The U.S. Commander-in-Chief has made cracking down on these gangs a central goal of his administration, part of a wider effort to limit the migration and secure the sleeping giant's southern region. Now, the Donald administration in recent months has already deployed at least 2, look at this, warships to help in border security efforts and the drug operation. Now, the sources, speaking on condition of anonymity, said that the Defense Department has begun ordering the deployment of sleeping giant air and naval forces to the southern Caribbean Sea. This deployment is aimed at addressing warnings to the sleeping giant national security from specially designated of the gang organization in the region. Once again, Donald designated this country, gang, and others, as well as, can't forget the Venezuelan gangs, as a global bad organization in February. As Donald stepped up the immigration enforcement against the alleged gang members. It's not looking good. Now, the president of Mexico, she said that she's not going to tolerate any invasion. She's not going to tolerate that. I'm sorry, Mrs. Claudia, but us sleeping giant, we didn't like it when you allowed, well, your land allowed millions to come into our sleeping giant. Millions invaded the sleeping giant. Now you know how it feels. Here's the thing, since you guys let the doors open, Donald is going to surprise your land. Just like he did to Persia, dropping the bunker buster. Surprised them out of nowhere. The sleeping giant military has already been increasing its airborne surveillance of these gangs to collect intelligence to determine how to best counter their activity. Donald has previously offered to send sleeping giant troops to Mexico to help combat these lawlessness, an offer Mexico says it has refused. I wonder why. Why will you refuse? The sleeping giant can help you, Claudia, and clean up the land. Now, if they refuse, obviously, connection, who knows? That's why she's, saying no invasion. This is your fault and this and that. Again, when you talk back, when it comes to trying to help your land, when you talk back a lot, obviously you are working for them. I don't know anyone that would turn down help. I mean, look at Zelensky. He needs more help than anything, and he's begging for help. Give me a second here, guys. Trying to see if there's any more updates about this story here. I'm not seeing much. Okay, so it seems like this is all the information here. So do not travel was put out. A do not travel level 4. Alright guys, so I'm going to end it here. This is all the information. But I want to thank every single one of you for your support. And again, it's very important to share the video. A lot of people, they don't do again, when it comes to do not travel stuff, they don't do those research. But it's very important for them to know. Because once you land, in their territory. And let's say you get snatched, it's gonna be hard. You've been warned by the sleeping giant, do not travel. And there's movies about this type of stuff, and it's brutal. There's been people reporting, their their story about the situation like that and how they escaped. And they, urged many, many, many sleeping giant citizens not to travel there. The problem is, just everybody nowadays is hard headed. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share the video. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream. Once a week, we talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.